Yup, it's the Mighty Jalak, aka Cat. We're on single player here, so you know what time it is. It's mesh time. Mesh hole here on Scorched Earth. Not as common for the meshing, so it's nice to get a little hidden base out there if you want to get one out there, because less people are looking, and if so, they're probably more looking at the world barrier, maybe than underground, if you get it. So it's going to be at the cave near Red Orb, and there's kind of a crevice in the land. You want to go through that to where it forks, and on the left hand side of our upper shelf there's a cave entrance, which you've just seen me go through there. Now you want to follow the cave round just like I do, and you'll go through another walkway, and you'll come up to a piece of wall with a kind of a mural of a gold fist in the wall. And when you get to that gold fist, if you just look where I am here and you drop down, we're going to go through this entrance, and you're going to see the gold fist that I'm on about. Once you get to this gold fist, you know that you're at the mesh hole. Here it is right here, the gold hand, the gold fist, whatever. Once you're here, you know you're at the entrance to the mesh hole, and you can start the method. Right, here we are. Just come out of preview mode, so you can see what it actually looks like in game, unless you are using preview mode anyway. There's the entrance. This is the golden hand on the wall. If you're struggling to see in here, you can always put your tech helmet on, but basically you want to look at the ceiling and fly directly up. Here we go, and you'll see the mesh hole. Now this hole's a little bit too small to get through, and you can't really place structures, so you can't do a ladder and a pillar trick. But if you get a dyno, put a saddle on it, chuck it directly up, get your wheel out, click ride, you ride it, it'll jump your player through the hole just like that. Hop off, leave it there, cryo up. You can do it with a Petrodon. Birds are quite good. If you get them whistled to you, they'll come straight to you. It's very easy to do it like that. Now you can build structures down here. As you can see, I placed a cliff platform. This is what I was testing. I put this up. I'll show you in a second. There's actually sleeping bags on this, so you could build a whole little mesh base in here. You could use this mesh hole to raid a base in here, although you've gone past the best kind of spots to be putting turret walls up, so it's unlikely there'll be a base in here if you can already access this hole. So yeah, this is the mesh hole. This is how to do it, and you can build a structure in here if you want. So coming on to the third part of the video now. Once you're actually in this mesh, I'll put a couple teleporters down. I'll show you in a second why, just to make my life easier while I was testing and seeing where we could go with this. So if I show you why the teleporters are down, once you leave the cave biome out of the mesh and go into the normal map out of the mesh, you will teleport. The game will detect you're floating underneath the mesh, you're not on a surface, and your character will be pinged above ground, as you'll see in a moment. There we go. So I'll put the teleporters on just so I can get in and around easier without having to go through the hole every time, faffing around with cryo sickness and whatnot. So once we're under there, the main thing to remember when you're doing these mesh exploits is if your feet are on the ground, your character will not teleport. Yeah, if you can keep your feet up, more often than not, it's not always the case, but 99% of the time, if your feet are on the ground, your character's probably not going to be pinged to another location, because the game is recognizing that you are stood on something. You know, do you get it? So what we're going to do is we're going to go away from Red Orb, and if you follow my footsteps here, you can see the cliff platform in the distance. If we just follow the cave as if we were inside the cave but above it, okay, your character's not going to be floating for too long at a time, and you're going to be within the parameters of the cave biome. So you want to follow this around until you can see this cliff shelf here. If you do a jump and a boost with your tech suit, you'll be able to get across, land on it, and you can put some foundations down and a cliff platform. And this is the most ideal place to put a little mesh base on this map. As you can see, the cave system's de-rendered. This is the spot, and from here you can access more of the map out of the mesh. This is the Mighty Jalak. Hope you found this video useful. Stay tuned.